Good morning to everyone. Today what we are to do is to create a mobile web application which we'll use to solve a problem. But first, I need you to first open your text editor. And for beginners, what a text editor means is that a text editor is a piece of software used to create and edit files that contain only text. For instance, you might have batch files, address lists, and source language programs. Text editors produce raw ASCII and EBCDIC text files, and unlike word processors, they may not support formatting like word wrap, font, bold, and italics. So please, for those who don't have this text editor I'm using, look into the description button. I've put a link there. You can go there to download it. This is called Visual Studio Code Text Editor. So please open it 2 times. One we'll use for the HTML, and 2 we'll use the other for the CSS. So first we begin with HTML. What is this HTML? First, HTML was only intended to be graphic design tools. It was set up as a simple way to display text in browsers, rather like word processor displays text on a page. Tags were added, and these are the tags. This is what we call a tag. Tag here, here, here. These are tags where the mouse pointer is. These are tags. Were added over the years in order to add a bit of color and life into the basic white page. Actually gray at first, so along came things like images, tables, frames, and forms. This could all be presented on the page using straight HTML code. Web designers then clamored for better ways to present their work on a web page. Plain HTML was then introduced. After all, with HTML, in order to get text or an image exactly where you want it, you have to resort to complicated tables to force the alignment. And suppose you want color behind a single paragraph of text, not have to color the entire page. Very tricky with straight HTML. And what about hyperlinks? Is there any way with HTML that we can turn underline on and off? These questions and many more were finally addressed by the introduction of cascading style sheets. A style is basically just another way to manipulate elements on a page in order to bring spark of life into your web design. Please, I'm fast because we are running on time, so work based on that. And then, what is a style sheet? If you are using a word processor like Microsoft Word, you could tell the word processor how you want blocks of text to be formatted. For example, all of your page headings could be in 28 points times, bold and colored red. If you wanted the same heading again, you can just click a drop down list and select the heading style you set up. Using HTML, you can't do that. There is no way to apply the same formatting with a single tag. So, cascading style sheet, however, lets you do that precisely. That change whole blocks of text with a single tag. This not only makes your code easier to read, it's also very simple and change all the formatted blocks of text to a different font size or color. You say a different font size or color. So this is the CSS which we will do. That's the cascading style sheet. But first, you need to have this format. For you to build a mobile web application, you need this, or this is the basic layout you need before you can start. So today we'll start with a header and how to build a header. So what do we do? To build a header, we will start to use this cascading style sheet, which is this. With that, I need to explain some basic stuff. A cascading style sheet rule tells the browser what the HTML looks like and what it should do. So basically what cascading style sheet does is that it provides the styling of your web application. So what is the rule? A rule can dictate what just one HTML tag should look like, or you can construct your own rule to be applied as and where you want it. For example, a rule can be set up that tells the browser to format every paragraph tag so that its first line is indented, or you could construct your own paragraph rule and just apply the style to certain paragraphs, not all paragraphs. There are three parts to a rule: the selector and the property and the value. The selector, there are different kinds of CSS selector: an HTML selector, an ID selector, a class selector. An HTML selector is the text part of an HTML tag. So for instance, I want to introduce an HTML selector. This is what I'll do: text part, which is this H1, and then I apply my tags. This is how an HTML selector looks like. And if I want to use a class selector is one you can set up your own to be used anywhere on your page. The font one from our style example above was the class selector. We pick the name ourselves and then apply the style to some text on the page. So this is how a style selector also looks like, a class selector looks like. So with that, you use it's always introduced with a period, that is a dot, and then followed by the name. So assuming it's a header, so this is how you do it as a style selector. And then the ID selector is also introduced using a hash. So for instance, if I want to create a header, instead of using the period, which is the class, I'll use hash. And then it comes. Yeah. So by in our course of study, we'll use the class selector. So I'll throw some more light on the property value. The property and the values. Once you have set up your selector, you then define the properties and for the value. So this is where you put in the properties, assuming is maybe the fonts. You just type your fonts. These are the properties. The property for the selector is the thing you are trying to change. Examples are fonts, like I just introduced, color, background, margin, and text. The value for the selector is the new setting for the property. For example, for our color property, you can set up to a value of an actual color like red, or you can use the hex numbers. The property and the value are enclosed in curly brackets, as I've used curly brackets. The property and the syntax for the whole thing would then be what I've defined here. So we'll go into how to build a header. So straight up, we start afresh, please. You need to be in a hurry because time is not on our side. So I've worked on some of them, so I'll let you have it. So first of all, this is what you do. This is how you build a header. So yeah, so what you need to do is to type all this. If you are done, we move on to this is the CSS style. I open two editors. I open one for HTML and one for CSS. So this is the CSS part. So you put your code in there. So please type. Afterwards, you come to HTML, and this is how you create a class selector. After creating that, you do div class is equal to, what is the name we use? So we use header. So a class selector was header. So what we input here will be header. mind you, if you change something, you will need to use that. So we'll close it and we're done. So right now what we need to do to be able to see our header is to save our file. So how do we save our file? Please go to, we want to save it as mobile web.html. so for the HTML part, to save it, you need to, this is what you do. For the HTML part, save it this way, mobile web.html, and save it at your desktop. Yeah. Afterwards, you come to your CSS, also save it to your desktop and save it as style.css, and then you change it to all, search for all files, and you are done. Wait, did I save it to the right place? I think so. Let me see if it's there. Yeah, it's there. So exactly. So we continue. But right now what we need to do is to look at what we have done and open it. So right now I'm going to open our file, and to open an HTML file you need to use, you open the mobile web. That is what we will open, and you need to open it with a web browser. And what I am using right now is Mozilla Firefox. You can use any browser at all, so it's your choice. So in some few seconds I'll be opening my browser so that you can see what we've done so far. So let's see what we've done so far. While it opens, please, those typing should type faster because we don't have time. And please, so while our documents open for us to see, if you have questions, you can put them across the comment box. I'll be very ready to answer you. And then you can also check up on my website. I've laid down a lots of stuff for you to study, so please look on the description button. You'll see a link to my website so that you can follow. So let's open our file. Let's see. And please, sorry, there's something I forgot. We need to apply. Please, we saved here as distortion, so our CSS is called style, so we'll type in style here. Please take notice, this particular area we've changed it style.css, and then you save it. And anytime you make an edit, you have to save it before you run. So please. So we'll go and open our file and see what it does. So we have seen our header, And why do we have a black header? So this is the reason why we have a black header. We use a class selector, which is the period, begins with a period and then followed by the name of what you want to define. So these are the attributes of our header. We have a width of 100%. So this is the width of it, 100%. It should get here and here to here. Yes. So, and then the height is 80 pixels. There are a lot of 80 pixels is here to here. And then in terms of the measurement, we have several measurements. You can use percentage, you can use pixels, you can also use REMs, but I recommend percentages and REMs because it makes your web application mobile and friendly. And then the display is blocked. The background we've changed this to black. That's why the background here, you're gonna have a header without a background. So look at it, it's black because we define it as black. So assuming I take off the header, the color away, you see that nothing will show. Nothing will show. So let's see. I'm going to take it off and we'll see. I'm going to save it and we'll see the effect. So right now you see that it is plain, but if you have a header, you need to have the background color of the header. So please take notice of this. So we need to indicate a color, which I love is black. So let's use black. Save it. Now you see it's back to its normal senses. Yes. So I'll refresh it, and then our color will be back. Yes. So we have our header, but we want it to look professional. So I'll add a linear header to it. How do you add a linear header? This is how you add a linear header. So please, I've done this, so I want us to use same. So please and please. Please and please copy this. Please and please watch. I've done this, so I want you to copy from here the .logo.container, copy here and copy here. Yes. If you are done, you move to the HTML part of it. The HTML part of it. This is what we need. So please, let's move to our HTML and add this to our HTML. So please follow up. We won't have this in here. So this is how our text should look at the end of it. So we have another close div in there. Nice. Let's see how our website will then look like. After save it, sorry. So let me see it. Please, I think we have some few issues. What is there? Okay, so I think the image isn't there. Let's see. Is it? Let's see if we have the image. We'll use something we like. Let me see. I'm going to get the image for us to use. So we'll need to use a linear header, and that one I want you guys to use a picture. So help us have it. So let me see if I can get the picture on. That could be of help. So I'll search for a picture, so I'll put it on and see how it looks like. Let's take this. Which one? Let's take this. Let's take this and apply it. So please copy an image to your desktop and name it. This, as you can see, I'm putting an image there. And please take notice, whatever name your image is, it should be here. Background image URL tells you the source of the image. So the image is z.jpg. That's the name of my image. So look at the name of my image, Z. And look here, z.jpg. That is how you need to be able to get your image to appear. So let's save it. We then go and look at our. So now you have it. Yeah, you have your inner header inside, but it looks like it doesn't look professional, so I'll adjust it so that you see. So let me see. I'll add something like margin button. Margin button. So I'll take like maybe 80%. And then let me see how it will look like. So I'll quickly add my margin top. Margin top. 10%, and let's see how it looks like. So let's see. I'll put it to 90. Let's see how that looks like. Oh, sorry. I used the dollar. It's supposed to be percentage. Yeah, so we'll see how that fits. So what we need to do is take it to 10%. Let's see how it looks like. Yes. So please take notice. Okay. I will have this 0. We'll see how that looks. Okay. So what I'll do is that I'll bring forth the header. So I'll take this, I'll bring the header a little bit forward. So please take notice as I make adjustment. Yeah, I'll do this probably. I'll see it then. Yeah. And let's see the impact of it. So please okay, doesn't look great, but please I take it off. Let's take that off, and then let me see something. I think I missed something. Let's see how that one will impact it. Let's see. difficult as middle. So please take a look at how I'm doing it and follow up, please. So here will be middle. So in our middle, we need to make adjustments to it. What is our middle? Top 130. So I'll make it 100 now. Let's see. 100%, because it doesn't look great and professional. We want it to have from here to be around here to here. So let's see. Let's see. I think yeah. Sorry, we did not close it. Yeah, so like that. So please have about 9 pages here. Then take it to 20. Let's see the effects. Please make sure you always save each and every one of them. Okay. So let's see what we have here. Let's see how we can make it come to the middle. Let me see. So I'll use margin top here. Margin hyphen top, and I'm done. Let me see. So let me use another 0. Let's see. Okay. So right now, let me see. I want us to have it more and more great. Let me see. Let me introduce this 10%. Please, the margins are for positions, so that's what it does. Save it. Okay, so I know why we were having some issues with it. So let's see if this will be resolved. So let's have it this way. Exactly. So I think the mistake was from here. Let me bring it back. I'm going to bring it back. So first I forgot, and then the div I closed it. So what I did is that I cut it off. So I'll cut it, and then I bring it here, and then I save. And then we need to go and position our middle. It is two at the top, so we'll use 40%. Let's see how it will look like. Okay, I think it looks great. This looks marvelous. Looks marvelous. Looks marvelous. So please and please, this is all you need to do. This is the CSS part of it. Please copy, and then come to the HTML, copy all this and save. And this is how you build a mobile web header. Exactly, very professional, and it looks great for all of you. I would like you to subscribe first, and then when we're building a mobile application that will solve the problem. And now we start with a header. So up next will be the next video. That will be to add hyperlinks. So get ready for that.